Hey y'all, welcome back to Rolling Pin Recipes. Today we are going to try and make some wonton wrappers. I need a third cup of water, which isn't very much. Third cup of water, 1 egg. If we need more water after the dough is pretty much combined, we can add more if need be. We're just gonna whisk this together. That looks weird. Now we're gonna add 2 cups of all-purpose flour right into this bowl. It's quite warm today. 1 cup. We've been craving Chinese food, but there aren't many places around. 2 cups of all-purpose flour and half a teaspoon of salt. Looks about right. We're gonna mix this together a little bit. Try to get a little well in the middle. Now we're going to pour this wet into the dry. Very simple. We're going to combine. This is a very simple ingredient, very simple recipe, and it's supposed to make a ton of wrappers. I think it's supposed to make like about 70. Now these wrappers are quite thin, and for wontons they turn out quite small. The wrapper's not going to be very big. I feel like we might need more water already. Still picking some up, flinging some. We're going to need to add a little bit more water. It says add water a teaspoon at a time now, and we want to try to get on the dry ingredients, at least for some doughs. It's quite sticky. We want it to be a pliable dough. I think we'll add a little more. Pick up all that dry. It's starting to need a little better, but we might need a little bit more water. A couple drops. Still pretty dry, but it is together. Might add a tiny bit more. It's a little more than I wanted, but that is okay. Alright y'all, we're going to knead this dough till it becomes elastic. So I'm going to be here for a minute. Just going to knead this and I'll be back to show you before we rest. Alright y'all, I believe this is where we want it. I got my fingertips a little wet and then kneaded it, so I added a tiny bit more water. I'm going to cut this in half. Just going to rip it. Ball it back. These balls are huge in comparison to the photo. This little piece here. Alright, we're gonna let these rest for 10 minutes, covered with a damp rag. Boom, covered. See you in 10. Alright y'all, the recipe says to cut this into quarters. I'm gonna have to set this one aside. I'm gonna have to set all of these aside. So I'll set 7/8 aside, and we'll work with this one. We're just gonna roll it out. Alright y'all, I guess these wrappers will be done quicker than I thought. So I'm going to put this damp towel on them again. That's 1/4 rolled out there. So honestly, I don't think it could get 70 wrappers. 2 recipes I saw, we're doing ground pork and chicken. We're gonna do ground beef. We're just trying it, y'all. Alright y'all, now you might say I'm going a little rogue with this recipe. Here's a pound of ground beef. We're going to add the ingredients first. It's gonna be very interesting. It's not a ton of ingredients. So we've got a tablespoon of soy. Estimates, y'all, estimates. Tablespoon of oyster. This stuff is incredible. It's very thick, so I feel like this will be no problem in there. Soy, oyster, fish sauce. I don't have that. We're gonna add a little bit of sesame oil. I know my husband loves this stuff. And we'll use the last little bit of this bottle. We're gonna add a splash. I don't think I'm gonna add water. I don't know if it needs salt. We love pepper. A little bit of chicken bouillon. Again, a little strange. It says a tablespoon. That's quite a bit. This is for the sauce. And apparently this is a marinade. We need a little sugar. I'm not sure if we need the sugar because we're not adding fish sauce. I don't know, y'all. This is an estimate. Trial. Can't hurt, right? Sugar should make it tasty. See if we can get any more of this to come out. Oh yeah. Toasted sesame oil. This actually doesn't say toasted. I'm gonna mix this together. Smells delicious. Might need a touch more soy. Also, I don't want to go too heavy on it. Just a splash. We're gonna add our ground beef. Now I probably won't need to make this much of these little wontons. I'm not sure if Potstickers, not sure if I have enough wrappers for all of this meat, but making this into some sort of Chinese would still be delicious. It's not completely defrosted, so this is kind of not good, but it'll be okay. And we think we want the fried Potstickers, but we'll see. We probably will try both. I'm gonna let this marinate and defrost while I finish the wonton wrappers. Y'all, one ingredient that might make a difference is cornstarch. I don't have cornstarch, so potato starch. I think that will probably make it tender. Actually calls for quite a bit. I think that's to make like a thick sauce. So probably should have already done that. I'm gonna splash of water, try to combine it. Going with the flow, y'all. We're not gonna add vegetables to this. If we want vegetables, we can have them on the side. As this defrosts, I will continue to mix this up. All right, y'all, we'll keep rocking. Alright, y'all, it's incredibly hot, but I'm going to put some oil in here. This is just olive. My skillet ain't on yet. Put a little more. I'm gonna turn it on low. It's a little picky sometimes, the knob, so it'll turn off. I did a little less than half of that dough, and I made quite a few little wrappers. I'm not exactly sure how to do these or if these are a good size, but we'll give it a shot. I just dusted in between with a little flour. I've got the meat here, and we'll just put a little bit in there, maybe a teaspoon or so. I'm not sure how to fold these exactly either. And my wrappers might be a little smaller than the video. We're kind of just gonna stretch, pinch together, and then I think you just like pinch this and then pull this up. Boom, boom, pinch, push up, fold, push up, and fold. Maybe. Looks adorable. And this meat's raw, so it has to cook. So kind of flatten it out a little bit. What if you like steamed it and then fried it? I'm gonna do up a couple and then throw them in. Could even stretch it a little beforehand. Stretch and fold with the flour bit out, I believe. I'm supposed to be wetting these. Whoops. OMG. Well, there goes the spider. I'm gonna run some water along the edge here. Completely forgot about that. The recipe said 5 folds, but I'm not sure about that. We'll see how this one goes. Hopefully these are good. It's a process, but for something like this, it's totally worth it if you can prepare quite a few in advance. If you have a little bit of time to create all these. Forgot the water. You can do different creases, but that seems simple. My pan's getting really hot already. We'll do up like 5 or 6 and we'll throw them in. Get the sides maybe first. Oh shoot. Spider just came rolling out of nowhere. Crease, fold, fold. We'll try one more. Give it a little stretch. It's so hard to find good food out nowadays. It's just, honestly, it's best to just learn how to make it yourself in many ways, but you can also support your people by going out. I'm just going to try to flatten them and make sure they're sealed and throw them in. I might turn the heat off. It's not too sealed, so we might roll with it. So it's going to take a couple minutes for these to cook. I'm going to put the lid on. All right, y'all. I did up 3 or 4 of them. I had them on the heat and took them off for a minute with the lid on. It's a little tacky on top here. They've got a little bit of color, so just slowed the process down a little bit, and they're not sticking, thank goodness. We'll just put this lid back on. They're on the flame, and we'll let it cook up a little more. Now, these would probably be good to dip in a chili sauce, sweet and sour sauce, just a soy sauce. The recipe calls for like chili oil, white vinegar, and sugar, I think. I don't have chili oil, y'all. It's a tedious process, but it's very simple. We might give these a little flip, and they're getting kind of firm, so I'm gonna try to steam some as well. It'll be interesting to see what thickness, how they're done, what the family prefers. Alright, y'all, I barely got a little bit of water in there. We're also going to try and steam some. Wait, we want that high so we can bring that up. And I've got the heat back on these. They should be almost done, but also I'm not sure. All right, y'all, I turned the heat off on this meat. I think we're gonna try to take one out. See, they've got pretty good color on there. Probably see if they're, see, I can't tell. Little squish. They're still soft, so I'm gonna take one out, try to cut her open, and I've got some water on the bowl. Oh my goodness. Actually, I think it looks cooked. Wow, cute. Oh yeah, I'll go give these a try before I throw more in. Plate some of these up. A little greasy. They seem very firm at first sight and touch, but they're not as firm as you may think. I think they turned out absolutely delicious, especially for the first try. And I'm going to try to steam them and then fry them in the skillet for just a second. My pan is boiling. Bon appetit. All right, y'all, I added a little more water than I showed y'all, and I think this is for the Instant Pot, but I'm not sure. I'm just gonna put it in there. We'll see what happens, y'all. I think I should put it in this way. I do not know what I'm doing. Just doing it, y'all. Oh, I think we're gonna have to put it this way. Jiminy Christmas. Okay. That's okay. We're gonna set these in there and see what happens, guys. Oh man, we've got a explosion here. Try to just crease that. Bring y'all in. All right, y'all, we're just gonna steam them. Put the lid on. We'll check them in a couple minutes. It's been a couple minutes, y'all. Maybe, oh boy, maybe a minute, 2, maybe 3. They're very wet. They smell a little fragrant. Now, I think we're gonna use little tongs to, well, we're gonna put this back on the heat, and I need to bring my skillet up to temperature because if it's not hot, I'm worried they're gonna stick, especially with them being soft and wet and mushy. So we'll just leave this for a minute. They even look more cooked now. I need to turn this temperature down. It's super hot. Make sure this pan's nice and coated with that oil, and we will transfer, y'all. They look delicious. Oh yeah, there we go. It's because they're wet. Oh my goodness, now we're talking. I also would like to try one just steamed. I don't know if it's finished cooking, but we can add the lid, even partial, and I want to add more in there. I've got a few ready. Just lay them on even or it might fall over into the water. Just cooking for my family, y'all. Obviously, I don't have proper equipment, but we're just cooking for our family, y'all. Cook it up. They'll love it. Okay, throw this lid back on. They go from hard looking shell to a soft, wet looking shell to a goopy kind of looking shell. Now they look kind of shriveled. Okay, we need to see, look. That's good. Not all of them are, but hopefully it doesn't take much to get them off. And when they're ready to release, they'll release usually. Oh yeah, just get a little color on there. I thought that's how you should make them, because then they're like soft, but then also got a crisp. If they've got some color, I'll flip them. If not, I'll leave them, and we'll do these. Awesome. All right, y'all, I kind of lost track doing a couple more. Hopefully these aren't too roasted. Ooh, yes. Okay, we'll try those. They should be done. Might be a little different texture, and I'm gonna leave those in there and we'll see what those are like. These are adorable. Bon appetit. All right, y'all, we just tried those. Steamed, then fried. So good. So much better. Just like what you would think of. I kind of want to try just steamed. I'm going to throw some more in here. I think I'm going to have to do a little more water. Don't stick them together. Make sure that oil goes all over. There we go. That's what you don't want. I need more water in here. I'm going to roll the rest of this dough out and keep going, y'all, because these are incredible. All right, y'all, this is literally the last scrap of all of the dough and the last bit of ground beef mixture. Absolutely perfect. These were incredible. My family's full and fed. We have tore these up, try to enclose this, but this one is not doing great. Is what it is, y'all. No big deal. It's the last scrap. What can you expect? I've got 8 here, steamed and fried, and I've got a bunch here that are in line for the steam. I probably took my family 5 plates of 5 at least, and I'm gonna put these in here. I've got a ton here. We're going to try to fit as many as we can. 1, 2, 3, big kahuna, 4, 5. I think that's as many as I could fit right there. 6, 7, and I did stagger these last time. It's just so hot. We're just gonna do that, y'all. How delicious. It's absolutely delicious. Turned out incredible. I encourage you, I just dried them on the paper towel a little bit. I encourage you guys to give this recipe a try. If you and your family enjoy a food and you're a little nervous to give it a try, you can't find it in your area that's good, or it's too expensive, try making it at home. These were delicious, and I will be making these again. Perfect to prep. Throw them in the freezer raw. You can easily just throw it into the pot, steam it, fry it up if you want. My family preferred either just steamed or steamed and then toasted. You want a good bit of toast on there. Just a barely any toast wasn't as good. They're absolutely delicious. These would be good with anything in there, vegetables, different meat. Absolutely incredible. We appreciate y'all for joining us in our kitchen and hope you enjoyed. Peace out, y'all. Bon appetit. Thanks for watching. You can check out more recipes and videos on our channel. We love to cook and we love to eat, y'all. Bon appetit.